Cardano holders have waited years for a tier 1 stablecoin to enter the ecosystem. Could you imagine if this happens at the confluence of a starting bull market, Google Cloud also stepping into Cardano ecosystem, and a whole list of Cardano ETFs, some active and some very much in play? I want to talk about all of these things as it relates to Cardano as we make our way into the macro analysis on the weekly chart for Cardano, as well as the short term. Because right now, as we start evaluating the short-term price action of Cardano, we are at immediate resistance, and the range that we are at isn't that large, but I want to discuss it because there's some caution to be had, as always, especially in these very volatile markets. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, click the link below. Set up a free trial. Set up your custom dashboard right here in our intelligence system. Use our risk models. Use our price mode to kind of speculate and plan your exit strategy. Imagine visualizing what selling looks like in a bull market so you have the plan before it happens. Get back there, start planning, start strategizing. Let's start the video. I want to start here. This is Paul over here posting on X, Cardano and tier 1 stablecoins. Could this be the first big win for Cardano of a combined approach from all entities? Check this out really quick.
I think one of the missing core primitives is a tier 1 stable coming into the ecosystem. So there have been numerous conversations by different parts of Cardano. So IO, CF, ourselves.
By the way, like this video that you're watching is basically the three arms of Cardano, right? IO, Cardano Foundation, Emergo. And we have waited years for stablecoins, and this is what he's talking about.
Facing off against the USDTs, the USDCs, USD1s, etc. in the world. 24 hours ago, in a room, not far from here, Fred, myself, Charles, family from Midnight, we're in a room speaking to a tier 1. And collectively...
So this is like, if there was a post on X of just like that, these people were talking to a tier 1, that would be like a very bullish post. But here's a video, and he's telling a story of this happening 24 hours ago. And obviously this was posted yesterday, but check it out.
Presenting Cardano's compelling, ecosystem and need for a tier 1 stable. In fact, in that meeting, they also pitched to us why they find us attractive and why they think that there's a real opportunity to work together. And so that is an example that I don't think many in the community thought would be possible even 2 weeks ago. But we actually made it happen because we actually want what's best for the community. Surprise, surprise, right?
So that's not even the best part. What he's about to say is the best part, so check it out.
Experienced professionals kind of talk and understand what is missing and what can we do together, you'll find very quickly that we can make it happen. So I think in the coming weeks and months, you're going to see a few announcements that are going to fill a few of those big potholes.
That's crazy. So that to me sounds like a few big announcements for tier 1 stablecoin to Cardano in the short to midterm. And that's what I'm saying, right at the confluence of where we are from a macro cycle perspective, from a business cycle standpoint. So this is massive. It really came out of nowhere. Cardano has a lot of other bullishness going on. We just saw this, Google Cloud stepping into Cardano's ecosystem through its partnership with Midnight. By running a validator node, Google Cloud won't just interact with ADA. They'll also hold Cardano native tokens like Night. So this is massive. And then do not forget the momentum that Cardano is getting in terms of ETFs. So here are dedicated ADA products and ETFs right here that are kind of out there. 21 shares, Hashdex, NASDAQ. And by the way, this was just re-added in this month, October 2025. ADA was re-added to it. Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, Coin Shares, Altcoin, ETF. But check this out. Up and coming, Grayscale Cardano Spot ETF and a Total Capital 2X Cardano Leveraged ETF. Cardano has so much going on right now in terms of, and listen, this is a proven, secure, most decentralized top 10. It is so well positioned to capitalize on the liquidity, the inflows that are coming into crypto, to capitalize on all the pro-crypto legislation and innovation, Bitcoin, DeFi, everything. It is positioned. the fundamental value play for Cardano is lining up very nicely. This is why I've called Cardano a value play over the years. It is not. When it comes to Cardano, or I'm sorry, when it comes to crypto, this has not been a terrible asset to accumulate. As much hate as Cardano gets for, maybe a lot of sideways and just extended consolidation, it's not just Cardano. This has been the altcoin markets. But since bear market lows in 2023 here, you can see it's been higher highs and higher lows. If you've been accumulating Cardano into this part of the cycle, I don't think you've done anything wrong. I really don't. I think you are very nicely prepared and positioned. That's what I think. So let's start talking about this. I know I'm on the weekly. I just want to take a glance at the monthly right now just to kind of point something out to you. I mean, you can see last cycle, it was very similar, right? We've done this nonstop comparing these things. The only difference is it's just longer this time. And that's because we've had an extended business cycle. But I just want to point out to you on the monthly, the RSI, it's just so bullish. I don't know how else to say that. That's not like an opinion in terms of emotion. That's an opinion based on strict data. And if you see a monthly RSI with this uptrend of higher highs, higher lows, and you even, especially in crypto, this becomes very valuable. You look at previous cycles and where these cryptos have topped out in bull markets, you can just see the upside that Cardano has right now. We are quite literally like kind of right here in terms of Cardano upside potential. So that's the monthly. If you go over here to the weekly, I just want to give an update on something because it's something we've been just tracking on this channel for months. We've been tracking this for months. This 200 week moving average, I want to just put this area here, always have it on our radar, not because it's like a target for Cardano. I just want to have it on the radar. But that 200 week moving average, and then we have the 20 week moving average entering the bear market back here, this bull market door area. We've been faked out enough since the last kind of run that we had around a year ago to the bull market door area. I'm just waiting. I'm simply waiting on the macro for this to break. I don't know how else to put it. I will track price action, and we're about to on the daily chart. We might get faked out again. Everybody's getting very bullish. This happens so often. I want to look at the confirmation area that Cardano needs to break, but there's reason to be cautious. But with that being said, going back to this chart, if we start making a break into this pattern to the upside, we're going to talk about how bullish that can be. This could be the path to the $1.20, $1.25 area that on the macro really needs to break. One thing before we pivot to the short-term price action and what's going on with ADA that I just want to point out to you that I find so exciting is we are at this price level that we were at in February 2021. And I know I mentioned this in yesterday's video, so forgive me for repeating myself, but if we go into our intelligence system and we click Cardano and we click the risk model and we open the risk model, so we're at the same price point basically as like right here. If I can, there's 68. Let me zoom in a little bit. So like 70. Right now we're at 86 cents. So there's a really fast pop from 70 to 92. Look at that. In one day, look how quick this moves. But either way, 92 cents. We're right in the range. 80 risk score. Right now we're at a similar price point and we are at a complete low risk pre-bull market number 37. I just want to keep pointing that out to you. And when this gets into actionable areas, probably 50s, 60s, 70s and above, I will not be showing this chart. This is for members. That is what this is for. Right now, we're in a moderate buy territory, but we're not so much in heavy accumulation or heavy sell mode, right? So I'll continue showing the chart while it's neutral in this area. But just look at that, everybody. I can't believe we're at a similar price point. And we see this reflected on things like the monthly RSI in terms of where we are in the cycle. But that is very bullish, in my opinion, for Cardano. So let's go and let's do some short-term Cardano analysis. Right now, we are looking at a short-term resistance area, and I want to bring into play some context. This is from September 20th. Check it out. How a dip from where we are right now to a target is, boom, 27, right? 27%, 28%. It's a higher low Fibonacci that we have right there. So swing low to swing high. There's a higher low Fibonacci. This is in play. I don't want it to happen. Be prepared. The first things first, though, do we get support here and bounce, start making a move to the upside? Or do we fall for a busted pattern, fake out, and then we get to move to the upside? So check that out. You see that pattern, that break to the downside and the potential fake out. This is exactly what has happened, and this is exactly what is in play right now. But that doesn't mean we're out of the woods. We are going to look at the confirmation areas that need to happen. So now that we're here at this part of the video, let's watch the confirmation area. It's so simple. It's this trend line, and now we're really testing, even on the very short term, the 20 in green and the 50 in blue. So this range of like 84 to 86 cents, this is a very key area now that we are above it. And the question is, will it stay above and start getting separation from the area? And if it does, well, then we have to contest with this trend line. We want to see ADA break back into kind of this apex of this wedge that we have here so that we can see a busted pattern. I posted not long ago on X, like $1.60 can happen sooner than most people think, something like that. I don't know. But this is why. And I think it might have been even before we broke to the downside, but it's just the sense of if this played out to be a bullish break to the upside, that could be, it would have been boom, or it could be a busted pattern, then $1.60 can happen quite quickly. And so that is in play, but let's be very cautious. This crypto market for quite some time now has faked us out over and over again. People get excited and then resistance, and then boom, we could be sometime in October falling towards the 60s. Be very cautious. I don't know how else to say it. We've seen this happen time and time again. But what's cool is we do have confirmation areas. If Cardano starts breaking back into this move and into this apex above this trend line, well, then it's like, okay, maybe we have actually some real bullish confirmation here instead of another simple fake out. A very good way to show you what this looks like is right here. We had a move to the downside. We pulled back into the moving averages. We wicked a little bit above the moving averages, right? So this is the last time the 20 fell below the 50. Right now, that's what's happening. The 20 just fell below the 50, right? And we're getting the pullback. So we had the pullback here and it failed. Boom. We might get the pullback here. We might fail. Boom. Be careful. But if we start breaking above, now we have something very cool in play for Cardano ADA. And this is what I'm waiting for. So really, I want to see ADA break very strongly. And that's as of today. This could be in a couple days even higher, but very strongly through the lower 90s. We're at 86 cents right now. We need a power move for ADA. For me, on the short term, to even start thinking of the bulls, and the bull momentum is confirmed. So that's what I'm watching. And now that I'm actually talking about that, I haven't looked at the bull bear arena completely or very often lately, but I do want to look at Cardano. And you can just see, this is a shorter term kind of momentum gauge, the bulls and bears duking it out. Right now, the bulls are not in control in terms of ADA. So we start seeing ADA make that price move, I think we'll start seeing the bulls in more control on that chart. So let me know your thoughts, everybody. Cardano's bullish on the weekly. Cardano's bullish on the macro. Right now, we'll track short-term price action. Be careful out there is all I'll say. But either way, there's so much going on. And if you found any value from this video, please consider subscribing, giving it a like. And if you're not in our intelligence system with our risk models, we just added XLM Stellar yesterday. We've got a bunch of others. Get back there, get in our exit planner, start planning with price mode. So speculating, wow. Speculizing. I'm not even going to edit it, everybody. Risk mode, and really start bringing emotion out of the equation. Just looking at risk and planning that way, setting alerts. Get back there, try it out, and let me know what you think. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.